Ferrari Modena, and I thought I would just put together a little video. I've sent my car off to AV Engineering, and Aldous and team are taking a look at a few things. They're looking at cambelts, cambelt timing, some work around the brakes, servicing, etc. And they've been great at sending me lots of individual videos. So I thought I'd splice them all together, and rather than just me learn about the mechanics of these cars, I thought you could learn too. So over to Al.
Good afternoon, Marco. I hope you're well. Just want to shoot this quick video to give you an update on where we are with the car. As you can see, it's up in the lift, service is underway. I'm just bleeding the brakes through at the moment. I'll come on to the brakes in a second, but this is a really important operation and needs to be done every year, regardless of mileage. So in addition to the notes that you already sent me from the last time we saw the car, I've got 4 other things to highlight to you. There's the track rod end, the drop links, the gear linkages, and the brake fluid. So let's start with these top 2 items here. The front track rod end, so this one here, it actually looks quite new, but if I grab hold of it, I don't know if you can hear that clicking, but that's the joint in there has got some play in it. This drop link here, this drop link's absolutely knackered at the bottom here. I don't know if you can hear that. And it's actually, it's so difficult trying to pick up in the camera in the dark. This boot's come off, and the actual, the joint inside here is loose. It's actually loose in here as well. On this side, we've got a similar story, but I don't know if you can hear that. Most of this is coming through the fact that this isn't tightened up into the shock bolt properly. But you're going to need a pair of drop links at the front at some point. Just moving on to the gear linkages. So up here, these are the cables that run through to the shifter in the cabin. They run to this mechanism here. And if I grab hold of this, I don't know whether we can get a. Yeah, you'll be able to see that moving around. There's a bush inside there that's knackered, and it's the same story here. So yeah, the bush inside there needs to be addressed. Right, now the final thing I want to talk about is the brake fluid. Now, I don't know if you know, brake fluid absorbs water. I did a little test, and your brake fluid's got 2.5% water in it, which is a lot. And it shows that whoever's been servicing this in the past hasn't been bleeding the brakes like we are now. So this is a pressure bleeder. You just pump it up, it's got brake fluid in it. It goes up to the cap and it pushes the brake fluid all the way through out into the to the drain over there. The problem with not changing the brake fluid is not only does it absorb water, but it also starts to turn to jelly. So I've had to replace all of your brake nipples. You can see you've got new nipples all the way around here. And the reason is because when I opened the first one, I couldn't get any fluid out. And you can see here where that little hole is, it's blocked and it's full of jelly. So yeah, your lines are going to be jammed, packed full of jelly because the brake fluid hasn't been changed that often or often enough. So we change every year. I'm going to flush about 5 litres through your brake system. Hopefully, try and wash that crap out of there. But you really need to ensure that whoever's servicing your car is changing the brake fluid every year. Not least because you can't buy any ABS modules for 360s anymore, and when they get gummed up, they can go bad. And if they go bad, then the car will be off the road until you can find a used one. So we're not at that point yet, and if we continue to change the brake fluid every year, you're going to be okay. But just wanted to highlight that to you there. So I'm going to crack on with stripping the car out, ready for the time up and the cam belts, and I'll be back with another update at some point. If you've got any questions, give me a call. Thanks. Hi Marco, hope you're well. I'm just going to shoot a quick update video. There will be one coming later this afternoon with regards to how we dial the cam timing in. I just want to talk about the brake fluid thing first. It's not as bad as it could be. And if we stay on top of the brake fluid changes, then it will right itself over the next few years. So yeah, don't worry unduly about that. Yesterday, spent time stripping the engine bay down so we can get access to the camshafts. So you can see that the silver frame's out, all the air intake and that. Got the valve covers off there. So I'll get another video on that once the dial gauges are in place and tell you exactly how we achieve that. Just moving in here. We're going to spend a lot of time in the cabin, so we've taken the seat out. We've got covers on and that. So this is the hatch behind the seats, allows us access to the front of the engine and the timing belts. So what I want to talk to you about at the moment are these timing belt tensioners here. You can see that the grease is leaking out of these. It's the same on this side. I'm strongly recommending that we replace those, because if that bearing runs dry, then the wheel will stop turning and then the belt will be off and you'll have a big problem. We're also going to replace the bushes inside here. They're only a couple of quid each, so we do that every time we do the timing belts. What happens is they wear out, and then this is the arm that this tensioner bearing sits on. So as the belt's whizzing around, the arm moves and it changes the tension on the belt, which is not a good thing. So we'll replace those as a matter of course. So that's it for now. As I say, if you've got any questions, give me a call and I'll be back later with a video once we've got the dial gauges on it. Oh, so the last little thing, sorry, is that the cam seals are being replaced. So we've got access to them here. So the cam seals, we take off these, take the belt off, take these 4 bolts out, and allows us to get to these little brown seals behind the pulleys there. So yeah, I'll be back later on with another video. Good afternoon, Marco. Hope you're well. Just want to shoot this video to let you know where we are and to also give you an insight into how we adjust the cam timing. So as you saw in the previous video, we've got all the covers off to expose the camshafts. The first thing that we do is to renew the timing belts, the cam seals, which are the little brown things behind there. We've replaced these bushes in here. You've got new tensioner bearings there. So we do that on both sides. Then we install this wheel here on the crankshaft. So it's called a degree wheel. It's got 360 degrees all the way around and a little pointer on it. And around here we have a dial gauge inside the spark plug hole. So that allows us to know the position of the piston as it's moving up and down. And we have a second dial gauge here on the valve bucket, which allows us to measure the travel of the valve as the engine's turning. So what we do is we spin the engine around, and we know for any given crank rotation what the piston is doing and what the valves are doing, and we can adjust the position of the camshaft in relation to the crankshaft to make sure that the valves are opening and closing at exactly the right time. So, and the way that we do that is to loosen these 4 bolts here. So we clamp the pulleys together with a special tool, loosen these 4 bolts. That holds this pulley locked in relation to the crankshaft, and then we can go around here and put a spanner on these flats on the end of the cam and just give it a little tweak, and then bolt the pulley back up again, and then we just remeasure it until we're satisfied that the timing is correct. That operation has been completed, so this job is exactly at the halfway mark. So we've just got to start building it all back up again, and then putting all the other bits and pieces back on. So hopefully by the end of today, the engine will be back together again, and she'll be running, and then we can just crack on with the service and the other bits and pieces that we've identified. As ever, if you've got any questions, give me a call. Otherwise, I'll look forward to providing another update soon. Thanks.
Hi Marco, just thought I'd shoot you a quick video regarding your window issue. Obviously moving up and down a lot. So we've taken the door trim off, and what we found is that there's a bolt missing from the glass. And the bolt and the bracket that the bolt affixes to was actually just lying in the bottom of the door. So a nice simple fix, put the plate back on the glass and put the bolt back in, put it all back together. So nice cheap repair.